Shalom, first and foremost, all praises, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash, double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone that taught us this true citation. All y'all can pushing this word day in and day out. Doing this quick lesson on this movie called Him. Him was it was an interesting movie, man, because it shows you how this fame and the spotlight and the clout being the GOAT, man. That was the whole theme of the movie, being the GOAT. How it operates, man. They showed you everything, man. I know most brothers like watching sports, whether it's boxing, basketball, football. Me, I'm more of the latter too. I watch mainly football and a little bit of basketball. I don't like this new age, the Steph Curry age style of basketball, but I definitely was a fan of the old school stuff. I like probably prior to like 2012 basketball, man. All right. And this movie, man, they showed you everything. Even this clip right here, man, they showed you, he's a sacrificial lamb. You see how he has his hands up with the ball like he's on the cross. And then you got these cheerleaders in the Baphomet pose. That's what they're doing, the Baphomet pose right here. It could be some trans gentlemen and so forth. But they showed you a lot in this movie. And this guy right here, his name is Call Me Kinfolk. He's not in the truth. He's a heretic, of course. So you chew the meat, spit the bones. But he broke down how the football was started by the Skull and Bones at Yale. You know what I'm saying? The secret societies at Yale back in, at the end of hardcore slavery times, like in the 1860s. It's basically how Esau will fuck Gad up. And they showed you in this movie that, Gad created the forward pass, which Jacob's the former of all things, so that's the spirit. Jacob's the former of all things. So Jay created a forward pass. You see today, like today they say the game's a passing game. Before it was a running game. Get them all similar to like rugby, But now it's a passing game. It's a movement game, right? You got to be fast into these games. Back then, they said that Gad had to create the pass because Esau was literally killing Gad on the field, man, because Esau was bigger back then. And, I'm sure the rules were different. All right, which favored Esau. I'm sure the rules favored Esau then, okay. So they showed you a lot in this movie, man. The team was called the Saviors. And their rivalry was the Masons. Who's the Saviors? Jacob. Who's the Masons? For the most part, Esau. Right? Even though you have your Prince Hall Masons, but majority of the Masons, Scottish, right? Masons are Edomites, man. Especially the ones with power, man. Because the Prince Hall niggas got to do what them Edomite Masons tell them to do, all right? And so, they showed you a lot in this movie. Like, the symbolism is off the charts, Yeah, it's not a sports movie. He's holding up the ball. It's not a sports movie. You don't see one down of or one play of in-game action, outside of, highlight clips. All right, this is all about the rituals you got to do to be the GOAT, man. You got to commit adultery. You got to give us LGBTism, man. If you don't like men, then guess what? Esau got a trans for you. Right? A trans gentleman for you. You got to sacrifice your loved ones, man. Physically sacrifice them. You got to watch your teammates get killed, or guys that's trying to make the team get killed, be paralyzed. And then one of the main things to be the GOAT that they showed in this movie, Esau was okay. So let's say this: the goat was Marlon Wayans in this movie. He's like the retired goat, but he's trying to bring up this young guy right here, right? So what they was doing in the movie, they was taking the goat, which was Marlon Wayans, his blood, and putting it in this young boy blood by through injections, which that's against the scriptures. You're not supposed to make any cuttings in your flesh. All right, but yeah, if you're in a hospital, you gotta get an IV, or you know what I'm saying. Then you experiencing trauma. Then hey, you got to go ahead and do it, man. And what they showed, they put his blood, the young boy blood, and Marlon Wayne's blood. But the young boy, of course, he was the last one to find out. Marlon Wayans, he knows the script, man. He's really been in Hollywood since I was a kid. Since the mid 90s, man. Early 90s. His whole family's in that shit, all right. So they high up Greeks and Masons. All right. But yeah, they showed you, man. And then, after I watched this breakdown, because I watched the movie myself maybe about a month ago. But then, I watched this breakdown as well too to see, okay, what did I miss? Of course, you see the pentagrams and the basic shit, but he went in a lot of details. This guy called me kinfolk that I missed, you know what I'm saying? That was hidden in plain sight, man. So, this is a good video and it's a good movie for brothers that watch sports. Watch this movie. Then you thank the Lord that you didn't make it, because all of us, either thought we was gonna make it in the music industry in the world or entertainment, sports entertainment. And I thought my lane was sports. Even today when people see me, they think I'm like a football player or something like that. I was like, nah, I don't play ball. So so I thank the Lord I didn't make it, after I watched this clip and this movie, man. All right. Like, yeah, I'll try to like fast forward to some parts. Yeah, they put the truth in this movie too. They do a lot. It's a lucky for the commercials. Let me take the volume down. Yeah, they showed the truth in this movie too, right? Of course, like this guy, he's a numerology guy, so you gotta take it with a grain of salt, right? Like they say. But okay, shit. Cause Marlon, he's a juiced in nigga. All right, so they put the truth in here, man. They showed you, you know, the so-called Black Christ. God bless the saviors. What was they gonna put the demons up here too? The little voodoo dolls. Showed you Joseph and Mary as so-called black people, the Judites. All right. So this is they showed you a lot of truth, man. All right, this is the quarterback when he was young, a kid. Old school ticket stubs. Yeah. They had this Jake wearing all white, man. The young Jake. That was lucky, you know. So they put the truth in the movie, man. All right. Okay, yeah, he's speaking over this and he's mentioning that too. And I missed this part too. I don't know how I missed this. It was late at night though when I watched it, but I was like, damn, they put the Lord, you know, false depiction, but they put him as a colored man. So, this is how Esau, gets off his karmic debt, man. Right? So let me get some precepts, man. Because Esau believes in karmic debt. Yeah, the team's called the Atlanta Masons. So they know that's the home of the Boule. This is Matthew 16 and 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul, man? So what does a man profit if you get all the stats, the accolades like LeBron James? He's an all-time scoring leader. He's considered one of the GOATs, but deep down inside he's still feeling that emptiness. That's why he's still playing basketball at the old age of, he about to be 41 in a few weeks, He's about to be 41. Which is crazy because I remember watching LeBron's first game. Because he's around my age. He's a couple years younger. But he's my age. He's in my age bracket, my generation. All right. What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Yeah, I give a lot, man. Yeah, I give your sanity, your dignity, everything up, man. You know, even the Lord fasted 40 days, 40 nights, man, when Satan tempted him, man. All right. So Satan offered him, at the mountaintop, man. Look, you see all this shit, you can have it, man. Which we are gonna have it on the righteousness, not in wickedness. In this society, you get it in wickedness. So LeBron, he's gonna come back in the kingdom. Guys like LeBron, Steph Curry, Drake, all the so-called goats in your sports, Lamar Jackson, you know, they all gonna come back, man. All right. That's why when you're around them, you feel like cause I used to work a job where I used to have to be around these niggas. You feel like a kind of like an eerie spirit on some of them. Some of them like they cool. I ain't gonna hold you. You got some Jakes but they not considered the ghosts. The ones that are like the man. They have like an eerie spirit on them, man. The star player. It's one thing you're a role player. Okay, Esau, I don't give a fuck about you. But you the man. It's a whole nother ball game they playing with you, man. Which they all, they all know about the script and things like that, man. You know, unless you want a practice squad or some shit, but yeah, they all know about the script. Okay. And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So, yeah, a lot of niggas giving up the Udi, the booty juice, all types of wickedness, man. Drinking blood, they showed you that in the movie. Drinking, so they go as far as drinking semen, eating shit, all these rituals, man. Okay. Esau gonna keep pulling more false flags. Which me personally, I believe the whole Diddy shit was a false flag. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father. So Yahweh Shai, he's coming in the glory of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, with his angels. All right. And then he shall reward every man according to his works. Yeah. You did good on the earth, you went out, did the work. Was the law, kept the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. The Lord's gonna reward you. Of course, we're not saved by that. We're saved through faith and grace and so forth, man. But like today, I'm starting this new venture, and it's the new moon. Normally I'll take off on the new moon, but the new moon falls on the days. On one of the busy days, they said they need people to work. So, the Lord knows my heart, man. I gotta take my ass in, unfortunately, because we in captivity. This isn't our rest, man. All right. So, especially, Esau's fucking with brothers' finances and shit, man. Deactivating brothers from apps. So, we gotta go out and get it, man. It ain't like we ain't got it sweet like these $10 million contracts per year and shit, $100 million contract. But this is the shit they go through. So it seems sweet on the outside, but it's not. You taste it, it's better. And they give you a black card. That's old information, like 20 years ago. They give you a black card, but now it's probably in the form of a digital wallet. And they watching everything you spending your money on. And they certain, it might be certain person you want to spend your money on. These stores like, nope, can't give them 30K. They'll block that shit. Is he in the program? Is he helping the program? Okay, no. So let me get this second Maccabees 4. And I was arguing about someone about this, man. Because these gems goes back to naked, man. But the J couldn't see it, man. He's being over righteous. Not to me, but to me. What I'm saying. This is second Maccabees 4. That's why you can't get deep with most Jake, man. If they're not speaking about Yahweh, you can't get deep with them, man. You gotta treat them the same way you treat every other Jake. I don't care if they know they're Israelite or not. You just gotta treat. That's that's one thing I learned, man. I don't know. I set the bar too high for certain Jakes. you know. So it's always chance for repentance, but certain Jakes you just can't set the bar high too, man. They ain't speaking about Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is Second Maccabees 4. And 11, and the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador to Rome for amity and aid. He took away, putting down the governments which were according to the law. He brought up new customs against the law, which that the Greekish fashion, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is Greekish fashion, man. NFL, NBA, niggas be naked in the locker room. Even when I was in high school, they played ball and them fuck niggas was naked in the locker room. Of course I'm hiding my shit, but these niggas they gladly walk around ass naked, man. That's why these Greek niggas coming back, man. And same thing today, NFL, NBA, you ain't supposed to look upon a nigga's nakedness, man. But they do that shit in these locker rooms. Let's believe Esau got cameras recording them butt ass naked too, man. Talking about it was for security reasons. Then he's sending them to the elites, man. All right. And these lesser luminaries, man. Like, what's this guy named? Fuck. The guy that's the owner of Fanatics. Mike Rubin. And it says, here's a point for he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself and brought the chief young men under his subjection and made them wear a habit. You look at most sports, NFL, MLB, NHL, which them NHL, a lot of them are Jakes too. Those are the fighting Irishmen. You think, oh yeah, they Edomite. Nah, those are Jakes. They just look like Edomites. Right? Even them guys, man. They be walking around with knocked out teeth and shit. They Jakes too, man. So yeah, it's just be the GOAT. Yeah, your face on TV and all this shit, man. These little promos. It's the stuff you gotta do, man. You see, oh yeah, they showed you this right here. If I could get it. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, the crossroads, man. It's really the crossroads, even though, Bone Thugs and Harmony made a song about it. It goes into the different paths, you can take for a little while. Yeah, they showed you that. Showed you Gad, man. All right. And Reuben. That's a Redskins and shit. They showed you a lot of shit in this fucking movie. You know, they show you Masonic checkerboard, sacrifices, all that shit. You know, Masonic checkerboard on the floor. You see it is him wearing all white. It's a Jake wearing all white, man. You know, because white represents purity. You know, at the Masonic, you got the football on the Masonic floors and shit. So they showed you a lot of uh, imagery, symbolism, and so forth, man. All right, that's a wicked nigga too, man. Steve Smith, the Lord gonna kill him. Okay, so they showed you the needles, cause that's what they do. They inject shit in all these players, whether it's enhancements, or you know, different players' blood specimens and so forth, man. Super soldier serum. All right. And it says, "For you gladly built, for you built gladly a place of exercise and retire itself." And brought the chief young men under his subjection and made them wear a hat. So, hey, the chief young men, that's all about, you know, big bucks. Jake's 6'8", 7 foot, 300 pounds, rock solid muscle, athletics, young Jake's, you know. Jake strong as hell, strong as an ox, and so forth. Okay, yeah, that's them drinking blood, yeah. In this scene, that's how them owners get down. It look like wine, but it's really blood, you know. And he's got the technology or the means to make certain blood taste like wine. You know what I'm saying? It has a sweet, tangy taste. He's into that. He's a madman. He's a base man. And it says, and brought the chief young men under his subjection. Hey, if you in the NFL, NBA, MLB, don't matter, you're under subjection. Made them wear a hat. So like, basketball is like the only sport they don't really wear hats. You know what I'm saying? Unless a player is wearing a mask. All right. Now such was the height of Greek fashions and increase of heathenish manners. Yeah, those are heathenish manners. You know, being in a locker room full of naked men. You know, wearing tights, wearing even jerseys. You know, the basketball jerseys, you still showing your nakedness. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Jake like to flex for the hoes, but it's still showing your nakedness. That's what you know. You got enough muscle. You got your arms out. Guess what? A sodomite see that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Man, apostles, you know, did a video of my brothers with the stop making the artwork with Jake with the muscles out and stuff, because you know that's showing your nakedness. Of course, we in Babylon, so we're gonna get 100% right when we get the power, man, in the kingdom, man. And it says, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest, man. All right, so yeah, it says that priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifice, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise after the game of discus called them forth. Yeah, because that was a big thing in discus, the Olympics. Excuse me. The Olympics, you know, it's different gladiator games. those are big things in Rome, right? It says not setting by the honors of their fathers. Yeah, they're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments as their forefathers did. That's, our nationality, our what they say, our culture. For the culture, they weren't keeping the culture, man. But liking the glory of the Grecians, best of all, the Grecians, man. All right, that's what all this gladiator games goes back to Rome, to the Grecians. Cause Esau needs you niggas for entertainment. Oh, we got brothers that came out of NFL, multiple brothers, not just one, multiple brothers that came out the NFL. Right. His brothers that's coming out of it, because you can repent from it, man. That's the good news, man. That's what we telling you, man. You can repent from being in the NBA, NFL, and so forth, man. But if you take that mark of the beast, man, it's over. Just certain players out there, maybe the new draft classes from like 2020, just like they made them niggas in 2021, 2022, take the YAB. Probably these new draft classes, probably a part of their contract. They gotta take the hit, you know what I'm saying, the chip. You never know, man. These young boys, they're all into technology. They showed you that in, I think what's that country called? Myanmar? Which a lot of them are Jake. I ain't gonna lie, OG. A lot of them are Jakes over there. You got a lot of Israelites over there in these underdeveloped nations and shit. Got heathens too, but you got a lot of Israelite foreigners there. I met this one lady from Myanmar. I thought she was like a Filipina or some other shit. And we all know Salakia. We all know a lot of them Filipinas. They go back, to Jake, man, the Filipinas. A lot of northern tribes, man. All right. So, so Myanmar, they had a riot a couple months ago because they banned social media. I think this more likely was temporarily. It was just a mock drill for us to come here to America. And them Gen Zers, they was rioting, man. So imagine here, when ain't no internet, or if they end up ultimately banning TikTok. I don't know what the situation with TikTok. Maybe, Trump's cronies did buy it. We'll see. But I remember they was talking about banning it. But if they ban it, then all hell break loose because Gen Z will go crazy. Because a lot of people make their money off social media. It's just like, it ain't like how it was when we came up. A lot of people had jobs and such. These people depend on the internet, social media, and so forth to make some money. Selling little products and shit, doing reviews, doing testimonials and shit. They depend on that shit for their life. But, real soon, it ain't gonna be no open internet as you see it today. Family of the word is coming soon, man. All right. So, I know I'm going off topic. But the spirit flows like a wind, man. All right. So, verse 15, not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians. This is the glory of the Grecians, man. Being an athlete. Athlete goes back to the Roman Greco Empire, man. Them devils, them boy lovers, man. We all know the Greeks are boy lovers, man. All right. And this is where the whole gym, that's why gym is a big thing in Babylon, man, Going to the gym. Which me personally, you got some nice ladies in the gym, nice looking ladies, but me personally, I prefer my woman not to be in the gym. That's just me. Like, all my women weren't really gym rats. It was, it was crazy because most people consider me a gym rat, so Like I got even right now, I have multiple gym memberships. You know what I mean? Because I don't want the glory of this world. I go to different gyms, all the time. I don't want to be the regular face at the gym. You'd be lucky to see me twice a week at any gym, especially now it's cold outside. So you saw spraying shit and trying to get people sick. So you try not to work outside as much, man. Because your immune system, is more vulnerable when it's cold outside, especially us as Israelites, because we're tropical people, man. It says, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all, man. And that's what this movie's about, the glory of the Grecians, man. This is the glory of the Grecians, man. All right. You see, he's got like those stripes on him. This guy, kinfolk, he didn't bring it out, but the little stripes on him. That's like that's almost like you know he was beaten, like because they trying to make him into like a Yahweh Shai, man. All right, a sacrificial lamb. He's wearing a white uniform. And he got the little stripes like he's beaten. Like getting whipped and lashed and so forth, man. All right. Scripture said their own tongue shall fall upon themselves, man. So they exposing their own goddamn stuff. I mean, which our apostles and elders been said that this shit was going on, man. So hey, man, this is what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new under the sun. The same thing's going on back then, and that's why they call it ritual. It's going on today, man. That's why every Thanksgiving, you have an Indian team. I believe this year, normally it's like the Redskins Cowboys, but this year it's the Chiefs Cowboys, which is, Gad and Reuben versus Esau Cowboys representing Esau, man. All right. Everything's killing, man. So let me get this last precept, man. This is Ecclesiastes 1 and 14. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun. So the Lord and the angels, Most High, they see everything, all this shit, all the wickedness, all the evil that's going down. That's why niggas go crazy in that life. Like Kanye West, Antonio Brown, which both of them guys know they Israelites. I seen a video. I think Antonio Brown's giving a tour of his house. This is when he was still playing, like towards the latter end of his career. He's a receiver for the Steelers. Everybody remembers him as. He played for a couple other teams, the Bucks and Jets. And he had like a shrine with the fringes, border of blue and so forth in his house, man. All right. And this guy named D Storing, he's a YouTuber guy. He used to play college football, athletic young Jake. He said, "Oh, you got a whole synagogue in your house," because he know the truth too. They all know the truth. They all in that boys club, man. We ain't in it, man. So he knows the truth, man. And behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. So that's all vanity, man. Ain't nobody gonna remember how many rings Tom Brady had. Ain't nobody gonna remember how many slam dunk champions Michael Jordan had. How many triple doubles LeBron. All that's gonna be a joke in the kingdom, man. Like he's really a monkey for Esau. That's how we go. But you good now. You in the kingdom now. But you was really a monkey for him down there, huh? In that wicked ass Dirty ass place, man. All right. So, hey, man, that's pretty much it on that. I'm gonna end it there till next time. Shalom.